Hello, what's up Amiga people? Welcome back to the C. What do we have on the show today? We have the 3000 that I was able to acquire a couple months back. Had the trucking program on there and we got her working and it just worked. Bad power supply. I swapped out my spare power supply. This thing needs some maintenance. It's Kickstart 2. It has a 120 megabyte hard drive in it and a PC emulator card and everything works. But it can be so much more. So we're going to put some new Kickstart ROMs, 3221 something. Next we're going to swap out this original hard drive, which is still fully functional, get it out of here so I can archive it, and to be able to provide the owner with an hard drive image of his original system. Isn't that cool? That we can fire it up with WinUAE and relive work. To save this hard drive, we're going to be putting a ZuluSCSI in it, and we're going to go even harder. This is a stock 03025. I got RAM for this thing. I got off of eBay. Purchased it from actually one of you, my subscribers, a couple times. So glad that worked out for both of us. I never keep all of my Amigas stock, except a couple 500s, just because that's what they are. All of my big box Amigas get the juice. Here we go. Amiga stuff to do. ZuluSCSI RP2040. Now I have to print a bracket. In the meantime, I am wiggling in ZIP20 RAM that I purchased. I just kind of wiggle it in there. Give it the old jiggle jiggle. Here's the other 8. Just a little OCD checklist for me. I stab a poker down there to make sure they're uniformly apart. Kind of like when you're building a deck or something, you have a nail in the... Alright, so after hours and hours and hours, I have 3D bracket printed. I have a utility I downloaded off Aminet called ZipTest. I put it in the C drive with WinUAE. Let's run new shell. Supposedly, this tells you exactly what socket everything is in. I'll link it in the description below. If you're only working on 3000, it tells you every single little chip on the board, what socket it's in, and if it's good or bad or ugly. Alright. These are empty sockets. So good, 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 good. These are the layout of the board, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the board is. Each bank of 4. So bank 0, bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, bank 4, bank 5, bank 6, bank 7. Wow, that's a weird layout. Okay, I think I found it. These little boogers right here, I think I found it. So again, Mr. Hooper, you've saved this Amiga. Incredible with the exact sockets and doohicculars of goodness that tell you exactly which bank, which chip. Huh. Older one. Okay, so 3.2, not 321, 322. Maybe I'll erase these. They have stickers on them, but heck with it. I got it. Okay, we're good there. Let's hook up this Zulu drive. Just plug it in and see what happens. With a bunch of zip drives, AGA. Oh, this is the wrong. This is my 4000 backup. No wonder it's not working. Today's interrupter is brought to you by Mr. Jonathan. So if this works, the Zulu part's done for now. Sorta. Half-assed. Okay, that's normal. I gotta do the MMU libs and the CPU libraries. No problem. Next on this chicken is a Superbuster 11. Pulling this 07 out. Bye-bye, Superbuster 07. That's that. That's the Buster 11. That's going to give us better DMA access for the thing. What thing? This thing. This is a BFG from our friend Mr. Kavanaugh's. BFG9060. It has an LC 060 in it. We're going to put that in. I've jumpered it back to internal, which is what the instructions from Kavanaugh's say. So A3000 internal are on for FPU and internal. So anyway, I wrote myself a sysinfo disk on floppy. The 3000 is sketchy with a BFG. It's just 50 megahertz clock. It's nothing overclocked, nothing crazy. But I need a SuperBuster 11. The 3000 and the BFG have issues fighting with SCSI. You have a better chance with a higher revision and a SuperBuster 11. Doesn't mean it's going to work. It's a hit or a miss. Is it going to work? No. Corrupts my card. Your XVS library is modified. What? Hard drives are hard driving? SCSI is SCSIing? I don't know. Let's see. DH1. Benchmarks. sysinfo. Where'd it go? sysinfo. sysinfo. 4.4, 68060, no FPU, MMU 68060. Holy crap, it's working. It's flaky. It's like something's weird with it. But we're there. MMU in use. Yeah, no shit. Alright. So it just crashed again. Baby steps. Baby steps. Now it's not booting. At all.
No! God!
So, baby steps. It's flaky. It's like it works and then it doesn't work. Hard drive is hard driving. And now Magic Workbench has failed. And I have no mouse. See? You see how the BFG is just flaky with this thing? There's the bootloader. Zulu's checking like it corrupted the drive. Probably did. It's just a file. Don't care. That's why I love the Zulu. Unlike the SCSI to SD, it's just a file. No 60. Ice cold. Not even a, well, a little bit. Alright. So, SCSI said,
You stewed, buttwad.
I'm just going to keep throwing parts at it until it works. If your internal SCSI is having problems with your your bfg9060, replace your SCSI with one of these. This is a Zoro 3 card. You're going to need to have a SuperBuster 11. You have to have a SuperBuster 11. It is only Zoro 3. It is not Zoro 2. Let's see what happens now. Low, high, light. It's probably got a guru. You got some activity on the light here. There's no light here, okay? You lose that. Alright. Are we up? Can't click anything. My floppy's freaking out. DF0 unreadable. Why are you unreadable? 4091, Zoro 3 SCSI controller, BFG9060, 50 megahertz, Rev 5, LC, 060. She pops up in sysinfo. Memory, the card has 128 megs of RAM, the board has 16 and 2 megs of chip. Drive speed, DH0 speed, so 4.59, so 4.6 meg, DH1 speed, 4.545. Right, so now I'm going to try something. Pull this out. I'm taking the BFG out of the equation by removing it from the system. Your stock 030 with a 4091 card. Yeah, so this is the 4091 special menu. If you hold the right mouse button down, it sees both of my discs. There it is. All my RAM. There's everything. Everything's good. DH2 uninitialized. That is because it is a newer partition. It's not going to be seen by this ROM version. I don't know why it's there, but it's opening some ROMs. I had 2 left. These are 3.2.2.1 hotfix 47.111. 47.111. Perfect. Turn it off. Now, the messy part of this endeavor. Carefully undo my power supply. It's the only one I got left. Alright, so here's what I came up with. I used some of those old Torx T10 PC style screws with the bolts and mounted the plate on. The Zulu fits on here like so. This is the original cable. It just plugs right in. Is it going to boot this time? Is it going to freak out or not work again because it's been off for 30 seconds? while I copy the file. Guru! Alright. That's the way to go. But as long as it boots. Fussy Pants. Load mon drivers unknown. There's still clearly some work left over to check out. I don't know what's going on. And look, there's freaking DH2. Demos. And it's got to check some error on it. Great. Yep, there's all my demos. Had Neo Colora and Sojourn of the Soul, and maybe have to go with a fresh build. I don't know why she's so picky in other slots. I'm going to install the old 3.2, well, old, the 3.2 drivers. This says UAE, it's not UAE. Like, I can do change drive type, define new, call it what I want. Let's read it. ZuluSCSI hard drive, 2 gig. Great. HD0, HD, I have all sorts of them. Yeah, whatever. That way it doesn't say UAE anymore. There we go, ZuluSCSI hard drive. Partition it. We're going old school. 1977. We're going to call it DH0. Advanced options, direct SCSI transfer. Add 47.4. Let's make sure we're on the right file system. 47.4. Fine. Already exists. Great. That's what it is. It's on 3.2 native fast file system. Yes, you can do PFS3 and SFS and your mom's F. Not to me. I'm just doing this. We're going to give it 300 buffers because I have RAM. Boot priority is 0. Okay. Save changes the drive. Bye-bye, DH0. Huh, 2.0. Great. Reboot. I'll have to reboot off of the floppy. Double mouse button because... Oops, I missed it. Double mouse button because your DF2 is going to have a higher boot priority than your hard drive. See? 0 and 5. Negative 20. So yeah, I got to choose DF2 to boot. We're nuking DH0. We're not worried about the other drives because that's got all my junk to restore on. And then I'm going to put my Hydra in after I get a stable Workbench 3.2 install. Now, just so you know, this is running fine. It's got the terminators on there like was recommended for Mr. Linux Jedi. I just totally forgot about the terminators on the board. I put them on my 3000. I was wondering why it was always working so well. And I have the active termination enabled with the flip on the Zulu 2040. So DH0 is not initialized, so format. I'm going to call mine System. And we're going to do long file names, no trash can, quick format, like Jesus would choose, and bada bing. Now, depending on your hard drive partition size, you may want to up its block size. How do you do that? Well, let's blow this away one more time to show you an HD toolbox here how to do such a thing. When you have a larger hard drive, this would mainly apply to a DH1, 2, your mom, whatever. You are going to need a larger block size because of the size of the drive. So if I go to advanced options here and under this change thing, see where it says file system block size right here? Well, it's on 512 bytes. You can go 4K, some people even go 32K, but for what I'm doing, I don't know, 4K? Let's think of it as like clusters when you're formatting a Windows drive. Anyway, we'll do 4K. Okay, save changes, it'll destroy, exit, continue. It's going to reboot again. Double mouse button, DH0 uninitialized. We're going to format this, and we're going to call it again where we were, System, no trash can, fast file system, international mode like Jesus would choose, long file names, quick format, done. Yay! So we're going to launch install. If you have a CD-ROM, you could install your own CD-ROM, but I am doing it all off of ADF. Yes, could I have done this in WinUAE? Yes, I could have, of course. But the reason I'm doing this is because of the persnickety nature of the BFG and the 3000D and T SCSIs. So, it's been working fine so far. Onboard terminators, we're to the point where it's going to ask for the libs. So we're going to run install again, but except this time we're going to choose to install just the CPU libraries. Install CPU support libraries, which is basically going to tell me 4621. So 47.6 is the one on Aminet. So now we'll put MMU libs in the floppy drive. GoTech. This thing's rocking. I haven't had a single problem. Now that I said that, I'll curse it and get a CRC error. But yeah, I had one boo-boo on my GoTech. I just recopied the disk. That's fine. To activate these libraries, please reboot your Amiga. So what? Please reboot your Amiga. We're rebooting. That loaded fast. Okay, so here we go. Output window, menu, add, separator, title, Call of Duty, command returned 10. What? I'm going to take a peek at the startup sequence real quick. And there we go. So that's that MMU libraries kind of stuff we're running into, where it just kind of borks out. We're going to give her a full cold boot. Let's see what we're doing for CPU libraries. I'm going to copy this to floppy disk. New shell CPU. Oh yeah, we're having problems already just with those MMU libraries, just locking up randomly. It was fine until I put those on. I'm deep in a directory. Now this is just 3.2. Okay, I haven't done any of the other updates yet. I didn't have the problem until the MMU library started. It was rock solid, working fine. I don't read readme's readme. I love that. So I'm actually reading through it. It tells you what it does about map ROMs and memory management and all that stuff. May the MU force be with you. Thanks for reading. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Let's see what happens now. Pull this disk out. So MMU libs from Aminet are on. What is it with the sun? Can't charge my batteries for nothing anymore. Alright. Def icons don't work. DH2 just locked up. It's worse than it was. It just crashed. So look, now DH2 has a checksum. RAM lib. All sorts of failures from Workbench and gurus and stuff. So that means I'm going to regroup and come up with another plan. Good morning. It's Sunday. I was up till 3 a.m. working on this and decided to get a couple hours of sleep. I found out that if I delete all the MU files that come on the MMU libraries disk or the Aminet utilities, everything works fine. No crashes, no lockups, no weird scuzzy, no crazy scuzzy issues. It just works. I just put MUI on from the other volumes of the Zulu. I did a fresh install. Base 3.2, I haven't done any of the other upgrades yet because I was trying to figure out what's going on. I'll do a benchmark of sysinfo. As you can see, it's running well. It's going to yell about the 040. I'm at 060 as you can see here. MMU in use. All the caches are on except copy back because it doesn't have it. See? Let's hit speed and we should be about 34 MIPS, 40 MIPS. Yeah, 40 MIPS. 37654 dry stones, no FPU, so no M-flops. 2.14 times the chip speed. It doesn't show me a megahertz, but it does say 60 to 60. If I initiate the CPU command, it does say 60 to 60 MMU, no fast ROM, and it seems to be running fine. It's running off its internal SCSI bus, and I have my RAM and the Zulu, and I just don't have the MMU libraries installed, and SCSI has been fine. You saw what happened last night when I used only the disk that came with MMU libraries of 3.2 and even the Aminet ones themselves, which were a newer version, newest version. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to continue with upgrades to 3.2.2 because it's a base 3.2, and then if that's okay, I'll continue with the final 3.2.2.1, and then we'll see how stable it is. I'm going to leave the MMU libraries out for now, and then I'll put them back in to purposely break it to see if that's the exact cause. 3.2.1's installed. Still working. It says 321 at the top. Can't really see it, but it's there. Now I'm going to continue with 322. Alright, your installation of 322 is now complete. Remove the disk. I'll turn it off because of a map ROM potential. Turn it back on. Okay. Always turn it off. Don't just cold shoulder it. So we're 322. Now we're going to do the final girl. 3221. Now when this is done, I'm taking this card out and I am copying that sucker, the image, so I have it. When I mess it up, I have a complete non-CRC borked one. Proceed, proceed, proceed. Hopefully I'll have to do another 8 discs with this. I think this is just a quick fix. There you go. Alright. Proceed, but I'm going to turn it off. I'll leave it on. We'll let it reboot normally and we'll see if it screws up. Then we'll turn it off because of, you know, map ROM and stuff. I don't think it did any of that stuff, but we'll see. Yeah. 3221. Out of there. Take this card out. Put this in my SD reader. Copy. It's literally a 2 gig file, so it won't take but a few seconds to get a backup of everything I just did. 143 megs, 3221 bfg9060 with 128 megs of RAM on it. And it is running. I don't have the MMU libs on there. I'm just trying to iron it down. So new shell, CPU, 68060, and all the goodness that your mother brings to the table. But now we're going to purposely break it.
What the hell did you just say?
I just made that backup. Okay, so now this is going to put the MMU libs in RAM, and we'll do the installer. MMU lib, readme first, whatever, install, install. This is to purposely break it. Novice. Just do it. Let's copy a new MMU libraries. There's the welcome to the I don't read me readmes. Yep. Copying the MMU libraries, adding MMU guide to the help destination, replacing the ROM mappers by MU fast ROM, replacing enforcer by mforce, disabling memory debugging, replacing set cache mode, replacing speedy chip, replacing fast exec, and your installation is now complete. Please edit your startup sequence and the startup for fine tuning, and the user startup for fine tuning. Your installation is complete and the log files in log. Off. Map ROM, remember? Take my disk out. On. Does this work or does this break, or do I start having CRC errors all over the place? Thinking about it. There we go. Oh. Fast IEEE failed. Found V45 math triple IE libraries. So this is what Linux Jedi was talking about. This thing. Can you see that? I don't know. So we're gonna start up sequence, and we're gonna take out that fast IEEE line. S user startup. Oh look, last line. Boink. We'll take that right out of there. We're gonna leave the map ROM thing on, and we'll see what happens. Reboot. Hard drive's doing something. Oh, now we're getting crazy stuff again. It's getting crazy stuff popping up here, like add menu name separator, software failure for RAM lib. Let's turn it off. Full off. Turn it back on. So I just ran for 2 days, or a day and a half, with no MMU libs, bfg9060 on a SCSI, the native SCSI of the Amiga 3000D. I had no problems. It wasn't until I did the MMU libs of 3.2 whatever, 1, yeah, 3.2, the original install, I had issues, CRC errors, started getting, like my demos were going to mess up, and nothing works, and yeah. Spaceballs. You are Lucy. Runs every time. Attempting to load Lucy. Hard drive's freaking out. And nothing. MMU libs. Can I lib without them? Most likely I can. See? Now we're getting issues. Add data types failed. So it's corrupting my memory card. That's why I made it back up. That's why I use ZuluSCSI. Right there. SCSI SD is great, but if you bork that card, it's configured on that device. Oh, now we're just gonna freeze. Now it just don't work at all. So when you get totally fed up with it, and you're like, well, remember before the MMU libraries, I just copied that file and then dropped my memory card. So we're just gonna go right back to where we were. Alright, so I think it finished, or I accidentally closed the window. Low, high. Hard drive just starts doing its doing. And the unit just freaking works. We're at, wrong mouse, gosh, 3221. I don't have the MMU things on there, so is that the definitive answer of why the BFG has so many issues with the Amiga 3000 desktop or tower SCSI? It's freaking MMU libs. Well, if you want it to work and you just want to enjoy the CPU and the RAM, you can take those out. I got a Super Buster 11, and I mean, until it's more identified, this is just an identification problem, not exactly it's this. Well, I'm just trying to make my stuff work, man. And between trying the 4091 and having the same issue, I could go back to that now because I know what it is. However, I've already 3D printed and bolted in the Zulu in the factory bracket. So that's what's staying for now. And I'll resume this later. But at least I have a 060 BFG 3221 with a floppy drive, and it's magic, and 16 megs of RAM on zip, 128 megs of RAM on the card, 2 megs of chip over on her side, and it's good. I'm running in multi-scan. I can toss a video card and other things in here now, and it should work fine without craziness, because, yeah, SCSI weirdness. So I hope this helps you in some way, shape, or form. Get your bfg9060 working on your Amiga 3000 desktop or tower with the internal SCSI. Now we're going to deep dive more on this in the future to find out exactly what the cause is while I search the old interwebs and talk to a few highly more educated peoples than myself. So until next time, thanks for watching, and as always, hope you learned something.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?